Starting off with a shocking video captured on a California freeway, which shows a California highway patrolman repeatedly punching a woman.
And you see it, you heard it. It was like thump, thump, thump. And then you hear her head bouncing, bam, bam, on the concrete.
How many times did he hit her?
Oh, I seen 11 on the video. He took more shots than that. I think it's around 15 shots to her head. And then punching. Like, this is not just jabs. These are hooks. Those are lights out punches. Those aren't like taps.
According to the highway patrol report, the woman was walking in and out of traffic lanes, posing a danger to herself and other drivers. When the officer instructed her to stop, she continued to ignore his commands and eventually became physically combative.
The tape only shows a small part of what transpired. There were events that led up to this. Until all that's collected and put into perspective, we aren't going to be able to make a determination.
The eyewitness, known as David Diaz, claims to have witnessed the events leading up to the incident before he began recording.
When you see the video, the first thing you hear is me laughing. The reason why is because before we got the video starting, they were playing like a Ring Around the Rosie behind that red truck. So it's a grown man and a grown woman running around the truck, and it's kind of like a Benny Hill moment, right? And she's avoiding him. He's trying to like get in. It's kind of like clumsy. It's almost like when we laugh when someone runs on the field in a baseball game.
According to David Diaz, the woman did eventually start walking toward the officer, which is when the takedown occurred.
He grabs her. And she kind of like, does the resistance in terms of like natural reaction. And then he grabs her, throws her to the floor, and then gets on top of her, which then you would think, okay, he's just gonna wrap her up, call it a day, another day in Los Angeles. But no.
The California Highway Patrol stated that the woman, who had no identification on her, was transported to the hospital for both a physical and mental evaluation.
The report indicated that the individual was not injured and the officer didn't notice any injuries on the individual.
However, Diaz has a hard time believing the alleged truth, especially after hearing and seeing the following.
She didn't put up any restraint. She did what anyone else would do when they're getting pounded, is to go like this, And now they say, oh, she's restrained. It's an excuse. We're giving too many excuses. There's no more rationalizing this. We need to stop this. And that's why I put the video, when I posted this video.
We're going to make a determination as to what transpired in this situation, and we will do the right thing.
The officer involved in the incident has been placed on administrative duty while authorities investigate the matter. Next up, a Warren police officer faced assault charges for allegedly using excessive force in an incident that occurred inside the city jail, and the entire incident was captured on video.
Tonight with a Warren police officer now charged with assault, accused of using excessive force.
The incident happened last week inside the city jail, and it was all caught on video.
A 19-year-old man from Detroit was arrested in Warren for carjacking and being a felon in possession. However, during the booking process at the Warren jail, the man had an encounter with Officer Matthew Rodriguez, a 14-year veteran of the force, which escalated into an alleged assault. As a result, the judge ordered a $5,000 personal bond for Officer Rodriguez, who now...
You're not going to stop me from leaving if I want to leave. Am I under arrest?
If we have to.
Am I under arrest?
Not now.
Get away from
Not
me.
now. Go back inside. We're going to lock down the office. Please, go back in the office. Seriously.
Don't touch me. Back up.
You can go in the office, but...
Back up. Don't touch. Don't reach. Back up.
Go inside. Because you're not certified, so...
Back up.
One evening on March 22, 2020, a man named Philip Chacon from Espanola, New Mexico, locked himself inside his house after the police tried to talk to him about a stabbing incident earlier that day. The Espanola Police Department surrounded the house and asked Mr. Chacon to surrender peacefully. Then, something unexpected happened. Sheriff James Lujan from Rio Arriba arrived at the scene, not in his usual uniform but dressed in plain clothes. He tried to tell the Espanola City police officers to leave the area.
You're in charge?
Yes.
Pull your people back. I'll bring him in.
Bring who in?
Phil Chacon? That's who you have a warrant for?
Right.
Pull everybody out. I'll bring him in.
I don't want to pull them out.
Huh?
I don't want to pull them back.
Excuse me? I'm not asking. I'm telling you. I will bring him in. Okay? We don't need to make this bigger than what it is.
Hey, the sheriff just pulled in, and he's asking us to pull back, and he'll pull him in. But he's been drinking. I can smell it on him. We're gonna need somebody. Huh? Yeah. Okay, we need to pull somebody over here, somebody above me, because he's already pushing his weight around with me. So. Okay. We're not pulling back. Hi. I'm waiting for. I told Jeremy. Jeremy's calling Command 1 now. But do you smell it, or am I the only one who smells it?
Yeah, please do something about it.
Right?
Finally, after some time, Mr. Chacon decided to give up and surrendered to the officers. They took him into custody. But during the standoff, something weird happened. Sheriff Lujan revealed to the Espanola officers that he had been talking to Mr. Chacon while he was inside the house. He even tried to convince the officers that Mr. Chacon wasn't actually there. This strange behavior raised suspicion among the Espanola Police Department. As a result, they ended up pressing charges against Sheriff Lujan and got search warrants for both his personal phone and the one given to him by the sheriff's office. Then, on the morning of May 14th, the Espanola Police Department tried to serve those warrants at the Rio Arriba Sheriff's Office.
Hey, Undersheriff, how are you? Good, yeah. Good. It's James here, the sheriff. We just need to speak with him. Hold on.
What's up, guys? Hello, sir.
Sure.
Come in here. You want to do it in there, or you want to walk?
In here, what?
We just have a couple of search warrants for yourself. For your cell phones. So, one on your personal cell phone, and one on your work cell phone. So, those are your contacts. Do you want?
Now comes the important part. Sheriff Lujan has been given the search warrants and has to follow the judge's orders right away. The warrants allow the officers to search the sheriff and his pockets, where they believe the phones are currently located. But here's the twist. Sheriff Lujan tries to find a way around the warrants by giving his phones to his colleague, Under Sheriff Martin Trujillo.
Hold on to that. Filed today? You have your phone? Call Nick. Casados is not. Is this for which case? What case is this?
So that is in reference to stemming from the original charges.
Which one? The misdemeanor?
So that one.
You got a search warrant on a misdemeanor.
So DA approved it out of Susoco.
Somewhere, yeah. Clovis, somewhere.
And then Pakistan signed off on it.
Well, he has my personal phone and my work phone. Okay, so it's gonna stay there until I get it cleared to my attorney first.
The sheriff made it clear to the officers that he won't give up the phones until he talks to his lawyer. While everyone has the right to due process under the 5th and 14th Amendments, questioning the validity of a search warrant while it's being served isn't covered by those rights. If someone wants to challenge a search warrant, they have to do it in a court, not on the street. The surprising thing is that the Espanola officers let the sheriff call his lawyer and freely move around the office after serving the warrants. It shows how officers often treat each other with special privileges while doing their jobs. In a country where departments can carry out surprise raids, confiscate large amounts of illegal items, and access personal information, all in the name of justice, it's very unusual for officers to let a suspect follow a warrant on their own terms.
Busy right now.
It doesn't have the case number on here for the original.
Right there.
That's a PD case number. It doesn't have a magistrate or a district case. This is in district court too, and this is a magistrate warrant. Okay? This case is already in district court.
This is a magistrate warrant.
You understand that this case is in district court, right? Did you get a district court judge to approve it?
District court judges don't do search warrants anymore. They just don't. They put them all down to magistrate.
Did you know that? I didn't know that.
They just don't do them.
Okay.
In a Supreme Court case called Coolidge versus Hampshire back in 1971, the court said that a warrant must be issued by a fair and unbiased judge who can decide if there's enough evidence to support it. It doesn't matter if the warrant was signed by a circuit judge or a magistrate. What matters is that the judge is neutral. To get a warrant, law enforcement officers have to show that there's a good reason to believe a search is necessary. They have to provide sworn statements and describe in detail the place they want to search and the things they want to take. The search warrant that the Espanola officers are trying to serve is specifically for Sheriff Lujan's work phone and his personal phone, which he used to communicate with Mr. Chacon during the standoff on March 22nd. Remember this detail because it will become important later in the story.
What is it exactly are you looking for?
So it stipulates in there.
Let me send this to me. Wow. You have 3 units out there? For what?
So, yeah.
You have all your units here, so
I have all my units here.
that's what we were told.
Who do you see here? The undersheriff, myself, the transport deputy, Leon doing reports. And so
Okay.
what are you
Sounds good.
saying I'm going to do something?
Well, we don't know.
You don't know. Really, Ernest? Really?
Sure.
Wow. Okay, well then,
Right.
you can stand outside of my office. I'm going in here. That's really, really bad, Ernest.
Something surprising happens as Under Sheriff Trujillo takes the phones and starts walking away. The Espanola officers tell the deputies that they need to keep an eye on the phones in case the sheriff tries to delete anything. Meanwhile, the sheriff and undersheriff come back to the front of the office but keep moving in and out of sight from the officers. Just then, Espanola's interim police chief, Roger Jimenez, arrives to talk with Sheriff Lujan.
He's trying to make contact with.
Morning, Undersheriff. Is he gonna comply or no? Waiting for his attorney to get him. You trying to call him. So he has the warrants. They're signed. They're legal. It's a court order. I know you guys are just doing your job, but I don't want you guys in the middle of this. All we needed the phones. That's it. Once he gets his advice from his attorney, I got him. I don't know. You have your phone, his phones? Yes. Okay. Can I see him at least so I can give you that professional courtesy? Okay.
I think it can have you guys leave. I mean, we're making more of a show than nothing just happened.
Well, I'm not the one making the show. I had only sent these guys in here. You know, I just, again, we want the phone.
That's fine. You're probably gonna get the phone, but wait till.
Well, as you know, Undersheriff, it's not probably, there's a court order. You know, I don't want to, I really don't. I don't want to have to put anybody in cuffs. I don't. But if that's what I have to do, then I will do it. I don't want to do that.
And you're saying who?
Him.
Oh,
All right. I talked to him. I got you on the phone. I have the copy of the search warrant.
Somebody has here.
I gave him copies. Where are they?
What's that? The warrants?
You asked for it? Or
No, he gave them to me.
okay.
Search me. You have a search warrant for my person?
Are you going to comply, yes or no? That's all I want. I want the phones. That's it.
I told you. You have your search warrant says to search me for personal phones?
He has the phones. He already told me he has the phones.
Okay. That's not what the search warrant says, does it?
Okay, so you want us to lock down the sheriff's office? Go ahead and call them back. You're gonna stay out here, sir. Stay out here. Stay out here. Because, no,
Roger.
Undersheriff,
You can go through the court system.
we are. We're gonna lock down this building until he gives me those phones.
Really?
Yes, that's what the DA's office is.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's that on paper? You can call her, Andrea Reed. You want her number? He's going out.
You're not going to stop me from leaving if I want to leave. Am I under arrest?
If we have to.
Am I under arrest?
Not
Then
now.
Get away from
Not
me.
now. Go back inside. We're gonna lock down the office. Please go back in the office. Seriously.
Don't touch. Back up.
You can go in the office, but
Back up. Don't touch. Don't reach. Back up.
go inside. Because you're not certified, so.
Back up. Up.
This small fight shows that the deputies value their loyalty to the sheriff more than their responsibility to enforce the law. The Espanola officers did what they were supposed to do and served a valid search warrant to the sheriff. The Rio Arriba deputies, just like any other law enforcement member, have a duty to uphold the law as defined by their justice system. But their failure to follow the search warrant raises serious concerns about their competence as a department. It also highlights a big difference between their ability to do their job within the boundaries of the law and the ethical standards expected of law enforcement as a whole.
So are you refusing? Is that what you're saying?
Refusing what?
You're refusing a lawful order?
Are you still in the back?
From the judge.
What judge?
Judge Gonzalez.
On what case is that on?
On my case. You have the search warrant.
On your case?
Yeah, you have the search warrant. You have
Search
the
warrant, the case is going to district court, right?
You continue to continue
It's
to
a district
continue
court
to
judge
resist and
has this
obstruct.
case,
You're
right?
showing a pattern of behavior, Sheriff.
Really?
Yes.
It's a pattern of
Already
harassment
twice.
from you is what it
Already
is.
twice.
Retaliation and
Twice.
harassment is what it is.
Twice. That's okay. You have your opportunity in court. I'm here
So
asking.
will you on a misdemeanor.
Okay, for now. For now.
I've done
For now.
nothing. Are you accusing me
why
of
not?
something else?
Then why not give me the phones?
But told you I'm seeking legal counsel first. I have that right. Do I not have a right to seek
You have the
legal
legal
counsel?
order. You have
I
the
do.
legal order.
And it doesn't say how long I have to give it to you, does it?
It says now.
Does
Yes,
it?
yes.
Show me.
It's a court order. You have the copies.
It says now.
Yeah, well, when you, okay, so you get a search warrant, you just do it whenever you want?
Sheriff, it would just be so much easier if you just give us these phones.
I don't have the phones, do I?
Well, no, but I saw you give them to your undersheriff who has them in his pocket. So just the knowledge of that.
The phones. This is all harassment and retaliation because I told the city council that you shouldn't be the chief. That's what it is.
You think whatever you want.
I don't think, I know.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is.
You
Go ahead and give it to him. These phones are not to be gone through until you have a warrant for the content. You only have a warrant for the phones,
You're
not the
absolutely right.
content.
You're absolutely right.
And good luck, and you better not come through a magistrate. You better go through a district court judge.
Thank you, Undersheriff.
Go.
Thank you. Have a good day, sir.
After getting hold of the phones, the Espanola officers left the scene without any trouble. They later obtained a search warrant for the phone contents and found out that Sheriff Lujan didn't hand over the correct phone as required. The search warrant specifically mentioned the phone he used to talk to Mr. Chacon, but neither of the phones he gave the officers matched the one from March 22nd. Realizing that the sheriff didn't follow the terms of the search warrant, an arrest warrant was issued, and on May 21st, the Espanola Police Department arrested Sheriff Lujan at his office. During the arrest, the sheriff ended up with an additional charge of resisting arrest on top of the other charges he was already facing. All in all, Sheriff Lujan and the Rio Arriba Sheriff's Office did pretty much nothing right. They failed to comply with the requirements of the search warrants, turned a lawful situation into a passive-aggressive standoff, and actively tried to shield the sheriff from a court order. The blind loyalty of the deputies highlights the problematic dynamic seen in certain police departments across the country, where officers prioritize their department's interests over enforcing the law properly, which is a danger to their communities. If the sheriff's actions indicate his guilt, there's no doubt he'll be prosecuted for his crimes. It'll be interesting to see what information is found on the hidden cell phone that the sheriff went to great lengths to conceal, and there's a good chance he could face additional charges in the future. As the interaction unfolded, the sheriff claimed that the search warrants were issued as retaliation for comments he made about the interim police chief. However, no evidence was found to support these claims, and obviously, it's hard to reach the sheriff's office for comment. The Espanola Police Department did a bit better, with granting privileges to the sheriff and deputies that they wouldn't give to ordinary citizens. They allowed the sheriff and his deputies to freely wander around the building while the search warrant was being executed, and they didn't arrest the sheriff, even though he tried multiple times to evade complying with the court order. This professional courtesy given to the sheriff provided him with enough time to deceive the officers and attempt to escape. In a similar situation, any regular person who tried to evade a search warrant or pass evidence to someone else would have been immediately arrested. Regardless of professional titles, all Americans are equally bound by the laws of this country. However, the leniency shown by the Espanola Police Department to Sheriff Lujan doesn't align with the standard procedures followed in most interactions with ordinary citizens. Police officers shouldn't bother with people recording them in public. But what happens when they attack a disabled man in his vehicle for doing just that?
All right, you already got one lawsuit. Let's make it another one. Let's make it another one, okay? Okay, ask Andrew A. Smith what's going on with him. Go ask him. Let's see. Let's see. You put your hands on me, you assaulted me. I can't wait to go file a complaint.
You're a paraplegic, eh?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. Doesn't matter. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. I haven't done anything.
Here are two insane examples of police officers attacking disabled men. Starting off, we've got an incident in which Alberta Rights Media, which we'll refer to as ARM, where some police officers attack a paraplegic man for the most bizarre reason. He was recording them from a parked vehicle. Take a look.
I'm engaged in a constitutional activity. He cannot deem this a crime. If he wants to take it there and escalate it, we absolutely can. But this little cupcake right here, he's gonna do.
No. See,
this little here just told me I committed a crime.
I didn't hear that one, but here, can I try to explain it to you?
You just touched my. Get out of my car! Get out of my car! I can't step out.
Okay, well, you're under arrest for obstruction.
Handcuffed to his steering wheel, he was later released without charges, but spent a week in a sling due to injuries sustained. Sadly, not his first encounter with Canadian officer assault.
8295 is my badge.
8295, what's your name?
Right
Your name is right there. You're covering it with your mic.
Step out of the vehicle, you're under arrest.
I can't step out of the vehicle.
Step out of the vehicle, you're under arrest.
I can't walk. Do you hear me, sir? I can't walk. I can't walk. I can't walk, you idiot. I can't walk. Get away from me. Get away from me. You can't open my door like that. No, then he just drives away.
In summer 2023, he got pulled over by Deputy Coucher from the Chestermere Sheriff's Office while driving to celebrate his birthday.
So I'm being pulled over. I'm being pulled over and harassed again.
Hi there. Can you roll up your window, please?
Can I what?
Roll up your window, please.
I ain't rolling up.
You are.
I ain't rolling up. What the f you talking about? Roll up my window.
You can roll up your window, please.
For what? Is that a lawful? Did you pull me over to ask me to roll up my window?
Yep.
Get the f out of here. What's your name and badge number?
I'll give it to you when you.
You'll give me it now.
You. Okay.
You just assaulted me. What are you doing? I'm a handicap. You goof. You just assaulted me, you idiot.
The officer then slaps ARM's phone out of his hands, and when he eventually gets it back working again, this happens. Take a look.
Amount of respect.
That you put your hands on me. You put your hands on me.
After you
put your hands on me. I didn't yell at you. You unlawfully pulled me over. You unlawfully pulled me over. You unlawfully asked me to roll up my windows. You didn't see me with tint, so you have no reasonable articulable suspicion that they are tinted. You just did it to be a.
No, I didn't.
So go yourself. I'm not helping you investigate me. Kick rocks, man. Get the out of here.
You are.
Get out of here.
You are.
I can't walk. I can't walk. I'm a paraplegic, you idiot.
Where's your thing?
It doesn't matter where it is.
Okay, give me your ID.
No! You didn't lawfully pull me over. Call another sergeant here. Call another sergeant here. You put your hands on me and assaulted me.
I am all the authorization.
No, you put your hands on me. I want to speak to someone else.
Talk to somebody else. Talk to somebody else.
In the United States, police officers are required to have a valid reason, like witnessing a traffic violation, to pull someone over. However, in Canada, law enforcement can stop vehicles for various checks without needing any suspicion of wrongdoing, giving them the authority to make more arbitrary stops.
Pulled you over to check you for tint.
The ability to justify stops with minimal cause can lead to abuses of authority, as seen when Deputy Coucher assaulted ARM during a stop. Requesting another officer's presence throughout the stop would have been a reasonable precaution in this case.
Give me your ID.
Nope. Absolutely not.
Give me your ID.
No, absolutely not.
Give me your ID.
Don't worry, you already got one lawsuit. Let's make it another one. Let's make it another one, okay?
Okay, give me your ID.
Okay, ask Andrew A. Smith what's going on with him. Go ask him. Let's see. Let's see. You put your hands on me, you assaulted me. I can't wait to go file a complaint.
You're paraplegic, eh?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't
It doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. I haven't done anything wrong. I've absolutely done nothing wrong. Leave me alone. You're harassing me now. You are harassing me.
I have given you.
Fucking harassing me. Look at this. He's harassing me. He pulled me over for no reason, and he admitted that. He pulled me over for absolutely no reason. He put his hands on me. And now look at him trying to talk to me. He put his head in my car. He's on my... Get out of here. I don't want to talk to you.
Given you a legal request.
Get out of here. No, you haven't. A lawful. We'll fight it in court then. I'll see you in court. Off. Give me a ticket if you want. I don't care. I haven't done...
Driver's license, please.
No.
I'll give you...
For what?
Well, for refusing to...
Name and badge number right now.
Yeah, 1519.
1519. What's your name?
Sheriff Touche.
Sheriff Touche.
Touche. K-U-S-C-H-E.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Stop today.
No, I didn't. This is all on camera.
Good. So is mine. So is my front and my back dash cam. Yeah. You don't care. That's how you are out here. Fucking cowboys.
Yeah.
Always trying to rope up, trying to fucking assault me because you are fucking a piece of...
Alright, okay. So give me a driver's license.
I ain't giving you
Are you gonna check?
Help! 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 Yeah, you think it's funny, eh? Yeah. You're violating me. You're violating me. Yeah. You're going viral, buddy.
Yeah, that's right. I hope so.
Yep.
I hope
You're gonna lose your pension. How old are you?
And if Deputy Coucher's conduct suggests a pattern of unchecked behavior, possibly exacerbated by a lack of accountability, and Arm eventually rolls up his windows to distance himself from the officer.
Why did you pull me over? Let's get it straight now. Let's get it for the judge.
Okay.
Why did you pull me over?
I pulled you over to check you for tint.
Okay.
Which I am lawfully allowed to do.
Okay, and now that you know that there's absolutely no tint on my window, what are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do, partner? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You already violated me.
Okay, no tint?
Yeah, no tint. So you pulled me over for no reason.
No.
No.
Relax.
No, you relax. You're the one that wouldn't give me your name and badge number and assaulted me.
Yes, I did give you my name.
For what? Because you wanted to see if I had tint? And I don't have tint?
Okay, first of all, you don't have tint. You're not getting a ticket.
Perfect. So why you pull me over?
Because
unlawfully.
Because I want to check you for tint.
Oh, you want to check me for tint? Shouldn't you wait till you see if my windows are up and I have tint and then actually pull me over, you idiot? Like, this is bad police, and I hope you have kids and a daughter that sees this. It's gonna go viral.
Okay.
You're such a goof, man. You're the worst cop I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, you're worse than Andrew A. Smith.
Oh, brother. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye, sweetheart. Bye, cupcake. Help! This guy assaulted me. I'm going straight down and file a complaint.
Guess what happened next? Arm went to immediately file a complaint. However, this wasn't as easy as he thought it would be.
I'm here trying to file a complaint at the RCMP. I called the RCMP to make a complaint, and they don't even f***ing care. They ain't sending nobody.
Arm requested an officer's assistance due to his mobility issues, but had to wait for a long time. When an RCMP officer finally arrived and reviewed the video evidence, they concluded that Arm hadn't been assaulted, highlighting the difficulty of holding individuals accountable, even when incidents are recorded. Next up, here's another story of Alberta Rights Media from April 2023, where he was again filming from his parked vehicle. After the police notices him, Officer Andrew Smith and his colleague approach his vehicle. Take a look.
Hi there, how are you today? We're gonna call about you.
Me? For
Yeah,
what?
because you're videotaping people leaving the parking lot, so they think it's suspicious.
Oh my gosh.
So do you have your license, registration, insurance for this vehicle, sir?
Sorry, have I committed a crime?
Yep.
I've committed a crime?
Yep.
What crime would that be?
You're being suspicious, so we're investigating.
Is that a felony or a misdemeanor?
It's neither of those two things,
What's
because
your
this
name
isn't
and
the
badge
US.
number?
Officer Smith's claim that suspicion equates to a crime is incorrect, as a lawful arrest in both Canada and the US necessitates reasonable grounds to believe someone has committed an actual criminal offense, not merely having suspicions. Additionally, neither country classifies suspicion as a crime in their legal systems.
And what would you like today, Cupcake?
Your license, registration, insurance for the vehicle.
No, not gonna happen.
It is gonna happen.
Okay. You tell yourself that. You can leave me alone, man. I'm here absolutely doing nothing wrong.
You've been called in as a suspicious person, so
So I
I'm going
haven't. Have I committed any crime?
I don't know.
Well, you don't. Well, when you figure that out, you let me know. Okay.
Okay, license, registration, and insurance, please.
Absolutely not.
The problem is now you've been called in, so we have to do an investigation.
Yeah, you do your investigation, sir. I'm not stopping you from that. You can do that. What's your name and badge number?
Constable Neufeld, regimental number 609.
All right. So as your officer just explained, he said because I'm filming,
That's what
which is
he
my
called you in.
constitutional Canadian Charter of Rights, constitutional. I'm engaged in a constitutional activity. He cannot deem this a crime. If he wants to take it there and escalate it, you absolutely can. But this little cupcake right here ain't gonna do shit.
In Canada, as in the US, it's legal to record individuals in public without facing penalties for photography or filming in areas with no expectation of privacy.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
New this morning here, we just learned a former San Antonio police officer is now out of jail on bond. He's facing charges for shooting a teenager outside a local fast food restaurant.
And also new this morning, we're getting a first look at the officer's mugshot, former officer, in fact. James Brennan was fired just over a week ago. Body camera video shows the officer unloading on a car as 17-year-old Eric Cantu drives away. Now, the police chief says that shooting.
On October 2nd, 2022, a frightening incident took place in San Antonio, Texas. It all started when a rookie police officer named James Brennan made a significant mistake while attempting to confront a suspect on his own. Officer Brennan had only been on the force for 7 months, and the situation quickly escalated beyond his control. The incident occurred around 10:45 p.m. at a McDonald's in north central San Antonio. The police had received a call about a disturbance at the fast food restaurant, so Officer Brennan was dispatched to the scene. Here's where things took an unexpected turn. When Brennan arrived, he mistakenly believed that he had spotted a stolen car that had been involved in a getaway the day before. However, as it turns out, the car was not connected to the disturbance call, and investigations later revealed that it was not actually stolen, even though its registration plates didn't match the vehicle. Unaware of this information, Officer Brennan became nervous, assuming it was the stolen car he was looking for, and he called for backup to assist him with the situation. However, instead of waiting for backup to arrive, he approached the car moments later, opened the driver's side door, and found 17-year-old Eric Cantu inside. As the car door remained open, Cantu made a sudden decision to reverse the vehicle and try to escape. According to Captain Elisa Campos's report of the incident, the open door struck Officer Brennan, causing him to step back. Instead of attempting to de-escalate the situation, Officer Brennan chose to shoot at the vehicle while the young driver was pulling away in reverse. After the driver shifted gears, getting ready to escape, the officer fired at least 5 additional shots at the car.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Later, Cantu and his girlfriend, identified as Emily Pruello, were discovered 1 block away from the McDonald's parking lot. Subsequent police reports confirmed that Officer Brennan had violated his training and police procedures when he approached the car. The repercussions for Officer Brennan were severe. He was dismissed from the police force just a few days later, and a grand jury indicted him on 2 counts of aggravated assault by a public servant and 1 count of attempted murder. The first aggravated assault charge was for shooting Cantu, while the second was for firing in the direction of Cantu's female passenger, Emily Pruello. The attempted murder charge was related to the shooting of Cantu himself. If Brennan is found guilty, he could face a lengthy prison sentence.
It was a failure for one individual police officer. It had nothing to do with our policies. Policies did not allow that. Our training does not teach that. So this was a fail for one particular police officer. And here we are as a result of that fail.
Amid the serious accusations, Brennan's lawyer, Nico LaHood, expressed concern about a rush-to-judgment attitude. LaHood argued that Brennan's side of the story hadn't been fully heard yet and anticipated that more information would come to light, providing further clarity on the incident. As a result of being shot by Brennan, Cantu suffered injuries to his stomach, diaphragm, lungs, liver, bicep, and forearm. He had to be on life support for nearly 6 weeks following the shooting, and he had to undergo a tracheotomy. In December, Cantu Jr. faced additional complications that required him to be hospitalized again for a few days. Cantu Jr.'s father, Eric Cantu, acknowledged that his son would need weeks, months, and even years of rehabilitation, but he showed great determination in his recovery. The family's attorney, Ben Crump, known for handling high-profile cases of police brutality, expressed relief at the indictments. He expressed gratitude for the overwhelming support the family received during Cantu Jr.'s fight for survival and their pursuit of justice. With the recent indictments, they feel they are one step closer to achieving the justice they seek. Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez stated, "Justice means making sure that man never works as a member of law enforcement, making sure that man never has a gun and a badge." The criminal trial against Brennan commenced in June 2023. Courtney Brown and Christy Wilson, 2 police officers on traffic duty, witnessed a speeding driver named Sarah Webb zooming past them. They decided to pursue her, and after a chase, they successfully signaled her to stop. Officer Brown approached Sarah's vehicle and scolded her for driving recklessly on a wet road due to the rain. Sarah explained that she was running late for her job at a hair salon, but Officer Brown was not willing to accept her explanation. Brown requested Sarah's driver's license, instructed her to remain in the car, and then walked back to her own police vehicle.
But you know how fast you were just going, ma'am? I'm so sorry, I'm late for work.
Now, things take a questionable turn, and here's what we can gather from the conversation recorded on Officer Brown's body camera. It turns out that her radar gun wasn't functioning properly, so she couldn't measure Webb's speed accurately. Adding to that, Officer Brown couldn't run a check on Webb's license for some reason. In this uncertain situation, Brown called for backup, and while waiting, she and Officer Wilson discussed what action to take next. Initially, they considered arresting Webb for reckless driving, but then Officer Wilson proposed a different approach. Shockingly, they decided to leave the woman's fate up to chance by flipping a coin. On the body camera footage, we can hear Officer Wilson saying,
Who's that?
A head, R tail.
Okay. So really, 20.
Despite the result of the coin toss, the first officer still decided to proceed with arresting Sarah Webb, using the police code 23, which indicates making an arrest. The officers agreed to charge Webb with driving too fast for the road conditions and reckless driving. According to Officer Brown, Webb was driving at a speed exceeding 80 miles per hour on a wet road where the maximum speed limit was 45 miles per hour. Once a video of the incident emerged online, it prompted an internal investigation by the Roswell Police Department into the officer's actions. During the investigation, Officer Wilson and Officer Brown were placed on administrative leave. A few weeks later, both officers were dismissed from their positions due to their unethical conduct during the arrest of Sarah Webb. Eventually, the charges against Webb were dropped. Roswell Police Chief Rusty Grant expressed his disappointment, stating that such behavior did not represent the hardworking officers of the Roswell Police Department. He emphasized that he expected higher standards from the police officers, and trivializing such an important decision as an arrest was unacceptable. Roswell Mayor Lori Henry was also deeply disturbed by the incident, expressing shock and offense at the officers' actions. She made it clear that their behavior was inexcusable and unprofessional, and did not reflect the values of the Roswell police officers who protect and serve the community every day. City Administrator Gary Palmer also weighed in on the matter, announcing on Facebook that Roswell would conduct a comprehensive investigation into the police department to address broader issues. He expressed astonishment at the lack of professionalism and compassion displayed by some officers, and asserted that those who do not meet the community standards would be removed from service. Shooting 6 days ago led to an angry confrontation tonight with San Francisco's police chief. Dozens packed a town hall meeting demanding answers about why an unarmed suspect was shot to death on December 1st, 2017. A new police officer named Chris Samayoa was on his 4th day of duty when he received a distressing call. The call reported an incident in San Francisco City's Potrero Hill neighborhood where a man, identified as Keita O'Neill, had allegedly assaulted a state lottery worker and stolen her government-issued minivan. The suspect had targeted a California state lottery van parked on 23rd Street in the 1800 block. As soon as the police were informed, they initiated a pursuit of O'Neill, who was driving the stolen van. The chase led them into the Alice Griffith public housing development near the intersection of Fitzgerald Avenue and Griffith Street. Eventually, O'Neill came to a realization that he couldn't continue driving, so he abandoned the still-rolling van, which crashed into a fence. He then tried to escape on foot and ran towards an approaching SFPD patrol car. Officer Samayoa was in the passenger seat of his training officer Edric Tollison's car and found himself in the middle of this intense moment, with other patrol cars surrounding O'Neill to block his escape route. As O'Neill moved closer to Officer Samayoa's direction, the officer took out his weapon and fired a shot through the passenger side window.
My son was mowed down and killed by John Camfield, an ex-cop who chose to drink your sorrows away, and then get behind the wheel.
He had been with the Miami Police Force for more than 20 years.
And now he has to pay the price.
It was sentencing day for a former police chief. Donald Solomon told undercover agents he was the best cop money could buy, and now he's going to prison for
11 years, 3 months. Stood before the judge and apologized to his children, the FBI, law enforcement in general, for violating his personal and public trust.
This is Newman Raja, a police officer who was found guilty of manslaughter by culpable negligence and attempted first-degree murder with a firearm for the shooting death of Corey Jones, a 31-year-old musician and housing inspector. Jones was fatally shot while waiting for help on the roadside with his broken-down car. The incident received considerable media coverage due to its connection to a pattern of similar cases involving black individuals being killed by law enforcement officers. Corey Jones's loved ones conveyed their grief and anger through heartfelt messages, expressing their sorrow over the ongoing acts of violence within their community.
Whatever happened, my uncle should still be with us alone.
Prosecutors presented evidence revealing that in the early hours of August 18, 2015, Newman Raja, while on duty but in plain clothes, encountered a seemingly abandoned car by the roadside. Approaching the car, he engaged in a brief conversation with its occupant, Corey Jones, who was seeking assistance. Jones, legally carrying a purchased firearm, was then approached by Raja. Raja claimed Jones aimed the pistol at him, while the prosecution argued Raja fired as Jones attempted to flee. Within seconds of the initial interaction, Raja fired 6 shots, 3 of which struck and killed Jones. Following the trial, the court issued a statement sentencing Raja to 25 years in prison for each of the charges: manslaughter by culpable negligence and attempted first-degree murder with a firearm. These sentences would be served concurrently, meaning Raja would serve both sentences simultaneously.
On count 1, I hereby sentence him to 25 years in the Department of Corrections. And on count 2, I hereby sentence Mr. Raja to 25 years in the Department of Corrections.
This is William Melendez, a former police officer from Michigan who was found guilty of assaulting a black man during a routine traffic stop.
His hands extended out of his driver's window. He was grabbed out, thrown to the ground, and struck 16 times in the head.
The complete incident was captured by the officer's dashboard camera, providing an undeniable record of the events. When Judge Vonda Evans reviewed the footage, she did not mince her words when it came time for sentencing. I would have thought this: what crime did I commit? Being a black man in a Cadillac, stopped for a minor traffic offense.
By a group of racist police officers looking to do an after hearing the defendant and his fellow officers joke about his injuries as they were wiping blood off their uniforms with disinfectant. 2015. Please be quiet in my courtroom.
Let's hear the perspective of the reprehensible officer in question.
Mr. Dent and his family, I am truly sorry.
Melendez received his sentence for his actions, being ordered to serve a prison term ranging from 13 months to a maximum of 10 years for his misconduct.
At 5:30, it was sentencing day for a police officer who was convicted of attacking a male nurse at Jackson Memorial Hospital. That attack happened back in May of last year. That officer was fired for that incident. He had been with the Miami Police Force for more than 20 years.
And now he has to pay the price for slamming the nurse to the ground.
This is Lester Bonenblust, 51, who has been convicted of assaulting and aggressively throwing a male nurse to the ground at Jackson Memorial Hospital. His charges include violence against a person over 65 and false detention. The incident occurred after Bonenblust's niece, dealing with mental health issues, was discharged from the hospital. Her father returned the following day seeking readmission, but medical professionals determined she didn't meet the criteria. In response, he called his brother, Bonenblust, who was also a law enforcement officer. Upon arriving at the hospital, Bonenblust was informed by a nurse that discussing the patient's issue in a public area was inappropriate. They moved to a quieter spot for privacy. However, Bonenblust turned aggressive, grabbing the nurse's jacket and throwing him to the ground. Surveillance footage revealed that Bonenblust had approached the nurse from behind. The nurse resisted and demanded he let go. Subsequently, Bonenblust was terminated from his 20-year police career due to this incident.
Count 1, battery on a person 65 years of age or older, and guilty on 1 count of false imprisonment.
Who witnessed the heartbreaking incident. Nicholson, who had to leave his nursing career behind due to a knee injury, shared his perspective on the incident. To a point where I was yelling at the top of my lungs, help, help.
To a point where I was yelling at the top of my lungs, help, help. What happened to me?
When Miami-Dade County Judge Marissa Tinkler Mendez delivered the verdict last Friday, Bonenblust's family was overwhelmed with emotion. The judgment decreed a 45-day imprisonment for Bonenblust, to be succeeded by 3 years of probation. Alongside these penalties, he is also required to complete 100 hours of community service.
County teenager killed getting off of his school bus. She's now demanding justice for the ex-cop who hit her son, and today a judge sentenced John Canfield to 35 years.
This is John Canfield, the individual behind a deeply distressing incident where he struck 5 children as they were making their way to their bus stop. Amidst the sorrow that enveloped this tragic situation, the family of one of the young victims, Jaheim Robertson, stepped forward to deliver a heartfelt plea. Within the courtroom, it was evident that Jaheim's parents were grappling with an immense sense of grief. Overcome by the weight of their loss, they eventually found the strength to break their silence, using their voices to convey the profound emotions they were experiencing.
You don't know the pain that you have caused. Oh, my son was mowed down and killed by John Canfield, an ex-cop who chose to drink your sorrows away and then get behind the wheel.
Investigation into the incident revealed a troubling detail about John Canfield's state. It's suspected that he was operating a vehicle with a blood alcohol level that was twice the legal limit when he collided with 5 students from Dundee Ridge Middle Academy who were walking near their designated bus stop. This unsettling discovery points to the fact that he was driving under the influence of alcohol during the time of this tragic event.
Screaming, saying, "Daddy, help me."
In an unexpected turn of events, an off-duty officer associated with the Polk County Sheriff's Office, accompanied by his father, took it upon themselves to give chase to the suspect. Jonathan Quintana, one of the individuals caught up in this incident, vividly recalls the pivotal moment when Canfield's actions had devastating consequences. The impact of this tragic event, which claimed the lives of several young individuals, stirred up a wave of poignant emotions and profound reflections among those who were directly affected.
Advise your daughter.
Canfield has put forth an explanation for the incident, asserting that he experienced a medical crisis at the time. He attributes his blackout to a liver issue, implying that his health condition played a significant role in the unfolding of events. According to his account, his medical emergency was a contributing factor that led to the unfortunate series of actions.
Of controlling the events that occurred on April 27th. I had not been drinking at all that day.
Consequences for Canfield's actions have been severe. The judge, responding to the gravity of the situation, made the decision to revoke his driver's license permanently. In addition to this, the potential legal outcome looms even larger. Camfield faces the possibility of a life sentence in prison as a result of the actions he took on that fateful day.